This video discusses what to do if you're over 50, have very little savings, and want to retire on time. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Oftentimes we get caught up in life, trying to make a name for ourselves and in business, trying to provide for our families, trying to navigate the social scene. Many people were never given the education to prepare for retirement. And so as a consequence, they knew that they were supposed to do something, but it was always tomorrow when that something was going to get done. And now at 50 years old or later, the decision to prepare for retirement is right in front of you with not a lot of years left to prepare. This video will show you what to do if you're in that situation. But before we begin, please make sure you click subscribe notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. I post about twice a week. All right, let's get into it. Point number one, and this is probably an obvious one for many people, early retirement is not really an option if you haven't prepared for retirement. Someone told me one time you can have anything you want, you just can't have everything you want. And in the case of early retirement, you can have it, but you have to start planning when you're in your 20s, certainly by the time you're 30 or early 30s, for most people anyway. Point number two is take advantage of your catch-up contributions for your 401k or your IRA, depending on which one you have or which situation you're in. If you're over age 50, then you can add an additional $6,500 to that, bringing your total contribution to $26,000 in a single year. If your employer doesn't offer a 401k, you can still invest in an IRA in most cases. There's a $6,000 contribution limit unless you're over 50. Then there's an extra $1,000 that you can contribute, bringing the total up to $7,000. That differential between the under 50 contribution and the over 50 contribution makes a big difference in retirement, particularly if you have 15 years or so left to go. The next point, and this is solid advice even if you're well prepared for retirement, is to downsize as if you're in retirement as soon as possible. Let me explain what I mean. If you own a large home, for example, and your children are no longer living there, you may want to consider selling that house and buying something smaller, even if you're still working. Why? Because the cost to run a larger house is more expensive than the cost to run a smaller house, all things being equal. And that differential you can use to save for retirement. And when you're in retirement, the cost base that you are operating at and have been operating at for a while at that point would be much lower. The same holds true for other tricks of retirement, like buying a pre-owned car, living a little bit more frugally, making sure that you set your thermostat to go up and down depending on whether you're home or not, etc. The next point is developing hobby income. Hobby income really is taking what you do as a hobby and monetizing it. If you love to collect coins, cars, or baseball cards, for example, and you know how to buy low and sell high, taking what you do part-time, very part-time, and turning it into a more regular activity could pay dividends, literally and figuratively, in retirement. More importantly, if you develop hobby income now while you're still working, it is an additional source of savings for you while you're waiting to retire. Again, adding to your retirement nest egg. The next point is delaying Social Security. If you take Social Security at age 62, what you receive is going to be a lot lower than if you take it at full retirement age, and a lot lower still than if you take it at age 70. In fact, the difference between what you receive at age 62 and age 70 is over 70% in most cases. So if you don't need the funds early, delaying taking Social Security means that you're going to be receiving more for retirement. The next point is paying down debt. Unfortunately, many retirees have debt service payments as part of their regular monthly payment. In fact, the average debt service payment for retirees that have debt is 40% of what they bring home. So if you could increase your spendable income by 40% simply by paying down debt now, why wouldn't you do it? The key to retiring on time, though, is to finish strong and finish well. And what we've just talked about are some of the tricks of the trade, so to speak, on how to do that. If you like this video, please make sure you click subscribe notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. Retirement is changing fast, and I work very hard to get what's out there and here for for you. Also, check out this video on 7 common income streams people have in retirement. This is Jeff Schmidt. Thanks for watching.